What if you could literally train your brain like a muscle? Well, today we're diving into an ancient concept that modern science is now confirming can do just that. It can rewire your mind for some serious resilience.
You know, we always hear patience is a virtue, right? But let's be honest, for most of us, it feels kind of like waiting, almost like a weakness. But what if that's all wrong? What if it's actually an active, powerful skill? I'm talking about a tool that can fundamentally change your brain, how you handle stress, and maybe even your whole life.
So in the Islamic tradition, this skill has a name, Sabr. And just to be clear, this isn't about gritting your teeth and just waiting for something bad to be over. No, it's way deeper. It's this holistic, neuro-spiritual practice, a tool that strengthens your mind, your heart, and your soul all at the same time. And to really get how it works, we've got to start by looking inside the brain. All right, let's dive into the science first. What is actually going on inside our heads when we manage to choose a moment of patience instead of, that flash of panic or anger?
So, according to neuroscientist Dr. Hasan, you can think of your brain as being in this constant conversation. Or, let's be real, sometimes it's more of a battle between your impulse and your control. And Sabr, that's the skill that lets you regulate that whole conversation.
And this chart here really breaks down that internal battle perfectly. See, on one side, you've got the impulsive brain. This is driven by the amygdala. That's your ancient, deep-wired fight-or-flight alarm system. But on the other side, you've got the patient brain, and that's commanded by the prefrontal cortex, your center for reason and control. So when you practice patience, you're basically acting like a referee in your own head, actively strengthening the connection between these two so that reason, not just raw impulse, gets to make the final call.
And get this isn't just a cool metaphor. As Dr. Hasan explains, when you practice Sabr, you are physically strengthening what are called neural inhibitory pathways. Seriously, think of it like lifting weights for your brain. Every single time you pause instead of just reacting, you're doing a rep. You're literally training your brain to let reason, not impulse, run the show.
Okay, so rewiring the brain. That's huge, but it's only half the story. Now we're going to see how this whole scientific process aligns perfectly with a really profound spiritual practice, and we'll do that through the teachings of Adila.
From a spiritual angle, Sabr is all about a complete perspective shift. Adila teaches that it literally transforms how we see difficulty itself. So instead of looking at a hardship like it's a prison, feeling trapped in despair, like it's some kind of punishment, patience lets us see it as a school, a place to find insight and actually grow.
Patience transforms the prison into a school. Let that sink in. The situation itself doesn't have to change, but your relationship to it completely does. You go from being a prisoner of your circumstances to becoming a student, actively looking for the lessons that hardship is there to teach you.
Right, but this practice, Sabr, it doesn't just exist in a vacuum. It's powered by something called tawakkul, which is this idea of divine trust. Think of it like this. If Sabr is the hard work you're putting in, the conscious choice to endure, then tawakkul is the deep underlying faith that there's a wisdom and a purpose behind all of it. They really work together. One doesn't really work without the other.
Okay, so if patience is a muscle, you're probably wondering, how do I train it? Well, it turns out there's this incredible 30-day intensive training program that perfectly merges the science and the spirit we've been talking about, the month of Ramadan.
Yeah, the daily practice of fasting from sunrise to sunset. It creates the perfect environment for this neurospiritual upgrade. By willingly putting yourself in a state of mild, manageable hardship, Ramadan becomes this real-world laboratory where you can train and strengthen your sabr.
Yep, for 30 straight days, your brain and your soul get this powerful, repetitive workout. So every single day of the fast follows this incredible cycle. Let's walk through it. Step 1, you feel the impulse, right? Hunger, thirst, maybe you're getting a little irritable. Then comes step 2, the crucial moment. You activate your cognitive control. You make a conscious pause and choose not to act on that impulse. Step 3, doing this over and over and over again strengthens those neural pathways we talked about. And finally, step 4, as you endure, you deepen that spiritual trust, that tawakkul, the belief that there's a greater purpose to it all.
And that right there, that's the science in action. Every single hour you're fasting is like another rep at the gym for your brain, strengthening those neural inhibitory pathways that Dr. Hasan mentioned. It's basically a 30-day boot camp for your brain's CEO, the prefrontal cortex.
And then you've got the spiritual side, just like Adila teaches. The physical stress of the fast, the hardship, it gets transformed into a school. You start to learn about your own limits, your reliance on things, and your real capacity for self-control.
It's where you gain that profound personal insight.
But here's the best part. You do not have to wait for Ramadan to start this training. You can start building this skill today, right now, with some small daily exercises.
And the most powerful tool in your toolkit is incredibly simple. It all begins with a pause, just 3 to 5 seconds. Before you fire back at that frustrating email or get angry at the driver who cut you off, just pause.
Yeah, think of these as micro Sabr exercises. Each one is just a small rep, but they all build up that muscle over time. You know, taking that mindful 3 to 5 second pause when you feel frustrated. Or how about actively listening to someone without just planning what you're going to say next? All of these little actions work to reinforce those crucial neural circuits.
So when you really look at it, patience, sabr, it's not about weakness at all. It's about incredible strength. It's the active, conscious work of rewiring your brain and reframing your whole perspective. It means that with practice, any challenge, any prison you feel stuck in can become your school. So the real question to leave you with is this: what prison in your life are you ready to turn into your school?